Hey, welcome back to the Infamous Podcast. This is Brian.
This is Darryl.
And Darryl, this is episode 513. Just like our area code.
I was just going to say, that's my area code.
Yeah. Anyway. And this episode is called Born Again, Invincible, and Dunesday Drama.
Which I kind of escaped me that we were going to talk about, but it's the biggest movie date drama in a long time, I would say.
I mean, since Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer. So, except the only thing I would say...
Op and Arby.
Op and Arby?
Op and Arby?
Are you going to make that a combo?
Yeah, like Op and Arby. Yeah. You get cheesy, you get a couple cups of cheese sauce, some curly fries, a Jamocha shake.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey,
my brother, when he was in high school, worked at Arby's, and the Arby's in Kenwood for a while.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He said he would always, like, when they would, they would tell you to put the bacon on for like 30 seconds or something like that. And that's why it was always flabby. And pretty much every restaurant, he's like, he put it on for like a minute or so or more to get it crispy.
Oh, nice. I do think Arby's has the best mozzarella cheese sticks.
Those are so good.
Right?
Like they are like restaurant good, not like fast food good. So.
Oh yeah, they're like you can buy them at GFS.
Oh really? Well, they're just like you can buy their curly fries at a couple different places.
Well, you can get their curly fries now at like Target and stuff. But like you can go to GFS and you can get like a massive amount of them for not a lot of money.
Like that, a massive amount.
And then what you do, you go to Costco and you get some beef tallow. And then you go home and deep fry them in the beef tallow. It's delicious.
Every time I hear that, though, tallow, I think of The Witcher. Because that was one of the items you could pick up on dead enemies is like tallow.
Okay. All right. Well, that was for candles.
Yeah. So
beef tallow is the same thing. I mean, if you wanted like steak flavored candles.
Dude, steak flavored candles.
Dude, I'm doing it. I'm gonna find a farm and get some beef tallow. Anyway, how are you? You're in a good mood, like I assume, because like the men's basketball, the men's hockey, and I assume the women's basketball made it all to the Final Four.
Oh no, the women's did not.
The women's
as bad as Michigan beat Tennessee, the Texas women beat the Michigan women maybe a little bit worse. It was brutal. I just watched I turned it on and it was like they had 25 points halfway through the third quarter.
Oh.
They had 8 field goals at that moment. They were 8 for 39 at one point.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I just assumed that, since our favorite team and all.
New York Football Giants?
Hell yeah! See, you got the reel I sent you. Did you watch it 3 times?
No, I did. I have not. I just know that you're in the Michigan algorithm because of me, and I'm in the New York Football Giants algorithm because of you.
Yep.
So,
dude, I think during football season we're just gonna have to spend like a significant amount of time talking about how good our teams are. So.
Oh.
Anyway,
we'll see about the Bengals. As far as
no, I was
Michigan's
talking about Michigan and then the New York Football Giants. Okay. So
yeah, Michigan should be good, especially with the new coach Kyle Whittingham.
Although I guess the Giants they're based in New Jersey, and New Jersey's trying to pass like a millionaire's tax, and the Giants are like, well, if you do that, we're going to move. So. But I do like this out. See, here's my thing, though. I think it should just be a trade. Send the Bengals to the Meadowlands, bring the Giants here. Because, like, the Cincinnati Giants has a really good ring to it. And the New York Bengals, I mean, yeah, that works. And the Jets suck, too, anyway. Yeah, the Jersey Bengals. I mean, they all wear, like, tiger stripe and leopard print anyway out there. You've watched the Jersey Shore. I grew up with a whole bunch of people from New Jersey.
GTL?
Yeah. GTL.
Oh, man.
Gym Tan Laundry. Anyway. way. Let's just dive right into after 5 minutes of banter. The whole
Well, technically, I started that, and I
it's fine.
started the
It's fine.
date thing, and then you mentioned the Oppenheimer
Yeah.
Barbie,
And it just took us down a whole
and it just we went down a rabbit hole.
All right.
So
So
we're back.
December 18th, Avengers Doomsday and Dune Part 3 are both set to be released. They're both going to be on IMAX. They've both been shot for IMAX. And so Marvel's official page still lists Doomsday as the 18th, and the current reporting is now Marvel may consider moving, but that's just a rumor. So there's no confirmation. And based on the IMAX angle, it would probably be one of them moves first, but it's probably not going to be the WB for a couple reasons from just my movie going box office obsessed mind. It behooves Disney to move because they have not been as successful as Warner Brothers over the past few years.
Yeah. And my question is this. Because I don't have the schedule in front of me, in the month prior to that, and when I say month, I mean the 30 days preceding December 18th, what is the release calendar? Like, what movies are going to be out? Because if nothing huge is coming out, especially something huge in the same genre, as well as built for IMAX, maybe that Thanksgiving Day weekend is something that one of them does. But again, unless I have other movies in front of me, I can't really say for certain that would be the right thing to do.
I'm using our good friend ChatGPT. Asking for what movies are coming out 4 weeks before or 4 weeks after December 18th. But no, that's a good point. Like they could move off it for, something less competitive. Like if there's like a holiday movie or a rom-com or something, it might make sense. So let's see.
But if there's like a Toy Story or something,
okay, so
big
in
like
November, the 25th through the 6th, Fokker-in-Law and Hexed come out on the 25th. And then Narnia is that same weekend. Violent Night 2 is the big release for December 4th. That might make sense. And then Angry Birds 3 is is the Wednesday after. Jumanji 3 and Werewolf are on Christmas. My Brother's Wedding, oh, that's a re-release. And then January 8th is something from Shudder, and then January 15th is The Beekeeper 2, Children of Blood and Bone. I don't know what that is, and then Untitled Blumhouse event film.
Okay. So I don't see either movie moving into 2027.
No, I don't either.
Right.
But it only went into the middle of January. But I do think that December 4th date probably would look good for Doomsday, because it would give it, two solid weeks of just like full IMAX dominance, and then it would have to so Dune 3 would probably have to share it for that first week.
Right. Because again, to your point, they have not been doing well, and if anybody's being honest, especially they need to be honest with themselves. The buzz about this movie it's not really a buzz.
No.
It's almost like morbid curiosity. That's how I feel. I'm not excited about it. I'm not stoked for it. Maybe when it comes closer to release, I might get a little bit more, not even optimistic, but curious.
Okay, so
just real quick, as we speak.
So sorry, go ahead, finish your thought. My bad.
I was just going to say, as we speak, even with the problems it's had, I am more interested in seeing Dune Part 3 than I am Avengers Doomsday.
I mean, I'm always down for like an Elseworlds Dune story and some fan fiction. But okay, so the first Dune movie, and keep in mind, it came out during COVID and it was day and day release. Theaters and HBO Max did 410 million globally, 108 domestically, and that definitely hurt it. Dune 2, on the other hand, did 714 million worldwide, 282 domestically.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the rules are, the third one's going to do better than the other two because, I get it. I'm the outlier because I'm an actual Dune fan, but people do like these movies.
Yeah, I can absolutely see why, being objective about it, I can see why.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would have liked, if I didn't never have read the books, I would have liked these movies a lot better. And I still like the second one, even though aspects of it were totally ripped up because of the decisions in the first one. But yeah. And again, what have
Well, and
we
this one's
had?
going to be totally ripped up because,
Because the decisions of the
yeah,
first one.
right. Well, of
So,
the second one too.
well,
Like,
because the second one had decisions from the, it's
I
a,
know, I get it.
like you said, I like how you say it's the fanfic or whatever.
It is
But
fanfic. I mean, come on. Like, he never read the book. I don't care what he says. He can
no,
claim, he could swear on a Bible, he could swear on your life that he read the book, and I would not believe him.
I absolutely believe in, just because some stuff is straight from the books, and yes, some of the most important stuff is not. But anyway,
I think he read the Cliff's Notes.
yeah, I think they have to move as far as they. I mean, DC, Disney. I think they're going to have to move it, because what have we had from the, not just actually, we're not even talking solely about the MCU either.
Right.
Let's look at the most recent comic book movies. You had Superman, a movie who, the biggest superhero out there, most well known,
Yeah.
and
It's 618, 354 domestic.
and then what are we going to get with Supergirl? Supergirl is going to be another. I'm telling you right now, that's going to be another disappointment.
Yeah.
Now, Spider-Man: Brand New Day, that could foster a bit of buzz if Brand New Day, knocks it out of the park. That, regardless of how it relates to the, Doomsday, that could foster some buzz. It could, but still, I don't think it would foster enough, considering the track record of the
What
MCU.
was the last Marvel movie to come out? Thunderbolts?
No, Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts came out in February, and Fantastic Four came out in July of last year.
So, oh wait, wrong Fantastic Four. So that was 2005. 2025. Yeah, it only made 521.
Yeah. So again, I thought
it did well. I mean, it did 274 domestic, but
right.
I mean, they don't have the overseas bolstering it like these do.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. So I think Disney's going to have to move, and the sooner they do that, the better they can line up everything they need to try to generate buzz. So we'll see.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm interested. I love this kind of stuff. I love like the whole box office gamesmanship, because there was a couple years ago there were Marvel and something else or Star Wars and something else were coming out, and then the other company like balked and moved it. Yeah. So, but this time I definitely think Disney is the one that's going to have to do that.
Yep. This ain't 2018 anymore.
No, and I think the whole quote nostalgia play that they're going for is kind of played out.
Yes.
I think the way that No Way Home handled it, that it was like having the nostalgia like really worked, and it was a great like addition to the story, whereas this is definitely masturbatory. So anyway, all right, let's move on to Monarch. So this week's episode is called Furasado, directed by Jeff F. King, written by Andrew Colville. the past this year was like 2017. It wasn't really that far back.
Right.
I did kind of really like the whole Tim and Hero were buddies. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
I like
Right.
I don't know why, but that was like, you know what?
Well,
I never even thought of that. Them being friends.
which that's the version of Tim I like. I
Yeah,
don't like this Tim thrust into this massive leadership role because he's just not cut out for
yeah,
it, or they're just not portraying him as cut out for it. But yeah, I like, again, we didn't get much, but yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty good. And one of the things, actually, I don't recall, I don't think I actually mentioned it. You might have mentioned it, I don't know. But last week, where we find out that Apex is trying to control
Hmm.
the Titans, or
Right.
something along those lines, that was a, I mean, it's nothing new. It's, it's not original, but at least it's an interesting aspect of why they are doing what they, because they're saying, hey, there's
Right.
only one way to coexist with these things
Yeah,
that
it's to
destroy
control them.
cities, yeah, that destroy cities in their spare time. So that's actually an understandable motive. It makes them less like, mustache twirling, and it's more like, look, yes, it could be used as a weapon,
Yeah.
but at the same time, that would better humanity in the sense of, okay, yes, we don't have to worry about, Godzilla coming on, getting on the wrong side of the bed and saying, you know what, this Golden Gate Bridge thing,
Yeah.
it's in my way.
Right. I mean, they don't know. I mean, the elephant doesn't concern itself with the ant, and the
But
ant's
it'll run like hell with the
infrastructure.
mouse.
Anyway, so, but the mouse doesn't have
And
any infrastructure for the
infrastructure.
destroy. Anyway, what? Ants have massive infrastructures. Think
Oh
about it.
yes, they absolutely do. No,
Anyway,
they do.
so,
It's funny, but it's true.
um,
What they say.
it is, yeah. Anyway, um, I just like one. I want to like Dominique Tipper in this role, and I just don't. And it's not
I
her; it's the
Yeah.
material they're giving her, because
Yeah.
she's supposed to be this super smart, capable, like corporate lady, and she just comes off as like a clown.
Yeah.
Like the whole like riding her bike into work. She would have fucking Ubered.
Yeah.
And in
And
this whole thing, yeah.
yeah, and you have that moment where, I know we're jumping around, but
Well, yeah, I
you
mean,
have the moment with, and again, this is another, this is an episode where I actually liked May and what she was trying to do.
right?
I like how, because she was, when she meets the gang, the Scooby gang,
Uh-huh.
for lack of a better term, she's like, look, we're trying to do something here, because she, just like I was mentioning before, she understands that, look, if these creatures can be controlled to some extent,
Hmm.
the you know collateral damage of what they do, meaning, all the ants, human ants to them, that get killed in their path,
Hmm.
that's a win. So watching her work with Apex, it offers a bit less of black and white and a little bit more of gray, and it's like, okay, I see where they're coming from,
Yeah.
type of plot line.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to give away ratings yet, but I definitely like this episode by a lot more than you did.
Yeah.
And I liked how it brought the story along. I liked the interpersonal stuff that happened with the Scoobies, and I actually liked Tim in this episode. Not just because he was Hero's buddy in the past, but like I liked the way he handled Monarch when he's like, the last time they sent us on a chase, it was chasing a blue whale for 200 miles. Like, why would we trust them? Like, that was just good. Like, it was good character
Mm.
development, right? It was him standing up, but he wasn't like all of a sudden a tough guy.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
he was still kind of like, oh, well, I have my source, but I can't tell you because they're a deeply confidential inside source. It was like head smack there. But I did like that. I like this thing that's happening with Kate, with the whole like hearing the song of the Titans. I think that's something that's interesting because it plays back to like the moment she had with Godzilla in the first episode. Like they had a moment. He was like he tried to rizz her up or something, and Titan X like was kind of like I liken it to the scene where Rhaegar tipped his head to Jon Snow.
Mhm.
Like there's some sort of
Oh
unspoken
yeah.
bond between these two very different creatures. And
Wait.
I let with Kate and Titan X and John and the dragon. And I really like that. I'm really interested in like, is there the ability to have a bond? Is it because she spent time in the Underverse? Is it? I know they have a different name for it, but I just like calling it the Underverse because I don't think we talk about Riddick 2 very much.
Uh, you keep what you kill.
You keep what you kill. And Titan X, you know, took that to case. Now, and that's the other thing too. I like seeing more of the kaiju, like up and out. Like I love the two pupils in the eye. I thought that was a cool design. I loved how the scarabs were smart enough to like cut off the arm where the neural implant got like shot onto him.
Well,
Like
yeah,
I just really enjoyed that. Like, cause you think of something that big and you think of it as kind of dumb, and it's got this telepathic control over these little scarabs, and it's like, yeah, lose the arm, and I'm
yeah,
sure it's going to grow back.
yeah. So a couple of things. One, I agree with you with regarding that up close shot of Titan X. I like that. Again, it's just, I mean, for a TV show, there's some issues with water, but when you see that thing standing up out of the water, that is so well done.
Oh yeah.
So well done.
So to
Uh,
the water, real quick, Ed
mhm.
Catmull has always said water is the hardest thing to animate.
Oh, 100% it is. It's the
So
same thing in video games.
yeah,
It's no different. Um, the water and fire too. Fire is another thing that can be difficult at times.
because they're both living.
Sometimes it looks cartoony. But about Kate's connection, I don't know if I like that. I like the idea. Just like the little girl that was in Kong, that has the connection to
Yeah.
Kong. What I'm not, and again, I'm holding off judgment. It still helps ding this episode because I don't like the fact that she has this quote unquote connection with Godzilla, then she has a quote unquote this connection with Titan X. Again, that could change in an episode or two where it gets explained why. But I'm not sure I'm liking. I like the idea, like I said, and the idea of almost like the Dragon Bond,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
mentioned that.
I think
That
this opens it up for Apex to like try and study her and use her a little bit
yeah.
too. And then like I think she works well as a damsel in a dress for Kentaro and Lee to come save her. And obviously Kiko as well, because she's probably the most capable one out of all of them. But um, and maybe it's just the lizard ones, like the amphibious ones that she has the
Yeah.
connection with, and not and like maybe that's the whole thing. Like maybe certain humans have like the different sex of
See that? Yeah.
like,
Right.
and I like that, and I kind of enjoy. I'm going to enjoy exploring that as much as we can. Um, but at the end of the day, I did like this episode. Now, spoiler at the end when Hiroshi dies, like I hate that. Like I really do. Like I'm not one who's like, oh, all the characters have to live, but for the way he died, it's just one more like tick for Kate. Like
Yeah.
one more body to add to her body count for doing something. And now she wasn't in control of herself necessarily, but
Yeah.
like she'd been trying to tell all these people like I hear this song that they sing, like and it just sucks that like Kentaro had to die, or sorry, Hiroshi had to die. I don't
Yeah.
want Kentaro to
So
die either.
there are a couple things that were so telegraphed that annoyed me. One, and as you mentioned, talking about the Titan X being smart. The second it got shot into the tentacles, you're like, okay, we all know it's going to cut it off.
Mhm.
Somehow it's going to lose that. Instead of coming up behind it with your multi-million dollar drone, well, yes, let's fly in front of it.
Right.
And secondly, I knew Hiroshi was dying
Yeah.
the
Oh
second
yeah.
he was like there was no question. So and again, I don't necessarily need to be surprised. That's not what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
like back to back, just like paint by the numbers
Sure.
plot points bug me.
Yeah,
Like if they were
I will
separated
say
a little bit,
when
yeah,
the neural implant hit, I was like waiting for Paul Walker to lean out the door and wrap outer t-shirt around his hand and try and pull it off before it like fully connected and shut down the Mitsubishi. But you know, it reminded me of that scene from Too Fast Too Furious like way too much.
It always leads back to Fast and the Furious.
It basically just leads back to Paul Walker movies. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I do think, even though I didn't rate it much higher than last week's for, some of the similar reasons, I do think from a standpoint of where we're heading, this does a better job focusing on plot and moving the story forward. So even with that, it gets a little, again, not too much better, but to next week's episode, next week's episode, if this continues and if this story continues to evolve in a positive direction, my scores will indicate such.
Okay, so out of I can't believe Kate got her dad killed, she really is the worst, brother. What do you give this
one? 2.8 out of 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 3.38. I think we've both talked about why we liked it and we didn't like it, and we don't really need to hash over it anymore. But I do think this was a much better episode than the last two, and I rewarded it as such.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready to move on?
Let's move on.
All right, Invincible, Season 4, Episode 5. Give us a moment.
We need a moment.
We like you told me you were starting the show, and I was like, okay, cool. And I started watching it, and then something happens at 12 minutes into the movie, and I texted you, and then I noticed you had sent me the text like a half hour before I'd even started watching it. And I was like, oh, he saw this and he was just waiting. And then you were like, I'm just starting it back up.
Yeah.
Because I almost spoiled it. I was like, but yeah.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Dude, Tech Jacket's a fucking girl. Zoe Thompson. And her dad's a goddamn cuck.
Oh my god.
Anyway, this was not cool. And like, here's the thing. It's during the Viltrumite War in the comic book. There's this great friendship that is built between Tech Jacket and Alan. And now it's just fucking creepy. Like when they're in the Tech Jacket shell, it's fucking creepy. And it's like I don't necessarily care for it.
I don't care for it.
I don't like that Thela, is that how you say her name? Alan's girlfriend is the captain of the Fodor Prize. Yeah. That's really stupid because like her character being back at home, and then every time Alan comes back and she's like, where the fuck have you been? Or she shows up with Nolan and she shoots him with a gun.
Yeah.
Like, like the bits that you got from that, the character did not need to be any deeper than that. And then I have a real problem with Mark and Conquest's final fight because Conquest got way, way, way too much offense in. And the thing that made the Mark Conquest fight in the comics so shocking is how brutal Mark went. And then what Conquest does to him, and he does to it in this episode, which was gratuitous.
Nobody has that many guts.
It's just right. It's just 100. Like it is 100%. The wolf is dying and lashing out.
Yeah,
and that was not the case here. And I just think they don't understand enough to have restraint.
No.
Show. And I think this is a Robert Kirkman problem, especially after episode 4.
Yes.
I also thought the animation throughout the episode was great until you got to the fight. And it was like Tumblr art. It was like bad video game cutscenes. It was not at all what I wanted to see.
Well, it's been inconsistent because there are
Yeah.
moments that the
Yeah.
fight was really well done, and then there are moments where just the shape of their faces, the shape of their body, it just doesn't look right. I will say this though, one of my favorite shots of all of Invincible, this whole series, is that shot of Conquest coming
Behind Oliver.
behind
Yeah.
Oliver.
Yeah.
That was that was the best part of that looked
It was
so freaking good.
beautiful, but it was a still shot.
Yeah. Oh, I don't.
So I know,
Yes,
no, I
it
know,
was,
I know, I
but
know, I know, because you like anime, and that's just still shot after still
yeah,
shot after.
but
It's like 12 frames per second. Um,
that was so good.
it
I
was
mean,
amazing,
it was straight out like the comics. Like,
and the
I mean, it
way that
was
Oliver was
great.
there, and
Yeah.
then Conquest was like, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah. No doubt. That was
And Oliver, um, and the other thing I didn't really care for was the family dinner. Well, the Debbie Nolan interaction didn't work for me. But Debbie's not the same character from the comic, and I think
no.
that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And then the family dinner, and Oliver's like, "Well, I have people I love here." After he killed the Mauler twins and tells Mark, "I don't look at humans the same way. I don't like humans. There's a few insects on
Yeah.
Earth that I think are cool. I liked my tutor, who they never introduced, and so he and Debbie, and it's just
Yeah. It's almost like they retconned Oliver,
yeah."
like his thoughts on humanity.
And I don't like how he's not as purple as he should be at this point. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, I think after last week, I really debated not watching this week and like not talking about it because I was so mad,
Disgusted.
just horrified that they wasted the fourth episode of an 8-episode season on another masturbatory project. But I think all in, like, where we're going with this, the next episode is going to be a markless episode, I hope, though. Like,
Oh yeah, it has to be.
there has to be the rest of the war going on. And then we get the interstitials throughout the episode of Nolan and Oliver doing their thing while they're saving Mark, or why Mark heals. But I feel like they're just going to be like, he's better.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to do that too.
So, and I'm not, I mean, because it's called You Look Horrible. That's the episode 6. And it's like, I don't know, like, hopefully that's like the last line of the show, where it's like Invincible and it does the screen thing. You look horrible, and then it's over. Like that's a great way to fucking end the episode. Like, Mark's better, and then they fly to Thetis' planet, Telskera or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I've been talking too much. What do you think?
No, I agree. Like I can't get over the fact that I don't like, again, when people make that excuse, well, this guy's, the creators, I don't care. That when you do that change like they did, and a lot of the changes that they've done that have made characters objectively worse.
Mark,
and again, I'm not
in
saying
particular.
I'm not saying Tech Jacket is worse because it's a girl, a female. However, what you have done though is completely messed up the flow and not the legitimacy, but like being the trueness of the comic.
Unless they do the joke where she grows a beard.
Oh,
Like, that was hilarious. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't realize I could grow a beard. The suit grooms me every night." It's like, what do you mean the suit grooms you every night? Wait, let's talk about this. What's happening with this suit, dude? But yeah.
That and again, like you said, the lack of restraint in some of these violent, and again, like Kurt Angle, he said, back in the Elimination Chamber 2006, I like violence. But again, there comes a point where you have to have restraint, where it's not exciting, it's not fun, it's not cool. It's just like, dude, come the F on.
I mean, how many times did Mark
tone
throw
it
up
down.
blood on
It's like, tone it down.
Yeah.
Again, I'm like you were mentioning anime. One of my favorite parts of anime is when they get punched in the stomach and it like it pauses for a second and they spit up blood.
Right.
I mean, I always like that, but yeah,
But
dude
not
spit up like
17 times.
yeah, exactly. It's again, it's restraint,
Like if it was a
which they do not
drinking
have.
game, like how many times is Mark gonna throw up blood this episode? You'd been fucking
Yeah,
had liver disease.
yeah, or how many different types of intestines Conquest is going to pull out of his
Oh well,
stomach.
he's
It
a
was like a
Viltrumite, so they have 42 miles of
dude. It was
intestines. That's how
it
they
was
can fly.
seriously it was seriously like a clown car of intestines,
It was
just
like
like kept coming out.
in Fast Six when they're on the airport runway trying to hold the plane down.
Oh
And
yeah.
that runway was actually like 180 miles in real life. Anyway, all right. I don't want to talk too much more about this. So you're going to give the rating because we gave the same thing. Out of 5, you got to be fucking kidding me after last week. What do you give this?
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Again, the fight was great for the most part. It had its issues, as you've mentioned. The tech jacket thing is just one of those things that's just unforgivable and just stupid. And some of the other changes, like you were mentioning, Alan's girlfriend, it's still, I'm glad that we've gotten back to the story that counts and not a stupid ass interlude that wastes an episode. But still, like the changes they made are gross and unnecessary. And yes, guys, have some restraint on the violence, have a little bit of restraint on the blood.
Correct.
That's all I got to say about that.
And that's all I gotta say about that. All right, let's get on to the main event. It's back, Darryl. It's back again. Maddie's back. He can't see his friends.
I will say though that the title music is starting to grow on me from this show.
I think actually not just the music, but I think like kind of the dirt and the mud and the concrete version, because like I did love the spilled paint from the Netflix version or blood.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
But like I'm starting to like this. Okay, so we are going to be talking about episode 1, the North Star, episode 2, Shoot the Moon, and episode 3, the Scales and the Sword. I just as a whole am finding this show extremely boring, especially after like yes, New York is super sanitized in this show, but I did think the first season was a relatively well written, exciting story.
Yes, I agree. I'm having a time completely focusing on this show. Um, we've talked about it before. The sanitization, the way everything looks, just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't work. This whole anti-vigilante task force I mentioned before we started recording, I don't like this story at all.
So why are they going after Spider-Man?
Again, or any of the other heroes that are in New York.
Is Peter in Boston like at this time because he's at
Like
MIT? Like what's happening?
I just there are good. I did like the fight scene. The fights. I wasn't a fan of the fight in the first episode to start the season. I thought it was too choreographed. But the last 2 episodes had fight scenes that I thought were pretty solid. And then you have the characters. That's the other thing. Like, 1, there are too many characters. And 2, and again, I'm going back to the Netflix series. Some of the characters that were actually I liked in the Netflix series, Vanessa, Karen Page, for example, I do not like what they've done with them in this series whatsoever.
Right.
So
I do like that Jack Duquesne is back. The swordsman.
right.
I'm never gonna say Duquesne, by the way. It's Duquesne.
I
But
think you used to call the school that too.
yeah, I still
Like
call
back
it
in the day.
Duquesne.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't been in the tournament in a while, so I don't have a chance to
Right.
do that. But hey, Duquesne, get a good basketball team again. I want to talk about Duquesne more often. Anyway, I do not like BB Ulrich or Ulrich. Sorry.
I don't like her at all.
Um,
At all.
I didn't like the whole. Okay. The thing I love the best about this season is the Mr. Robot style Kingpin, like social media videos.
Yeah, I don't. This is the thing about those. Surrounding everything else about BB with her videos that
Yeah.
includes those little concepts. That's the best part of it because I will say the acting in those videos when she's talking to the people on the street.
Yeah.
Are those real people on the street that have no idea how to act? Because it comes across as comical.
Yeah.
Like everything about those and the whole Dune cock mask thing is that's the most interesting aspect. But even that for me is it's just kind of like an eye roll. I understand where it's coming from, and I think she's orchestrating it effectively as far as a plot point. However, it's just like the execution to me, especially when it's compared with that whole man on the street or whatever, that nothing about it comes across as like legitimate.
Yeah.
Or like even professional, like not hurt from her standpoint, but from the standpoint of a TV show.
Mm-hmm. I did like Matthew Lillard as like an older version of Bullseye, even though we already had. So this is obviously like a new series,
right?
Because we already had a Bullseye, and he was a good Bullseye on Netflix. But I do kind of like the whole Matthew Lillard thing. I like how he saved him at the end after the AVTF. Have him and unmask him, and he's like, choo, 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 and then
you're
like welcome.
That was
cool.
I like that. I like the little "you're welcome."
Yeah, that was the only. That was actually the only thing that I really thought about that I liked from the first episode. Oh, I also hate Heather Glenn. Like,
is that Matt's ex?
Yeah,
the psychologist or whatever.
She's something. She looks. In every scene, she looks like she's like trying not to poop. Like her jaw is just like clenched. She's like, "Oh, I gotta poop, but I'm gonna not open my teeth when I talk."
I don't like the character at all.
Yeah, that's
and I don't know if we mentioned that this from season 1 because season 1 took a minute to pick up and it was fine. But one of the things that comes across in this show, and we've mentioned it before with other shows and movies, it's filmed like it's like they're filming a first draft, meaning that they did not go into the editing room like before filming and then hammer these things out. Like, how is this going to sound? How is this going to look? How are our audience is going to portray it? Like, how is this going to be portrayed to the audience? Does this work? Because if they actually did that with a critical eye, like several of the issues that we have could have been nipped in the butt in the very beginning and not even made it to film. Because I just, again, I do like Matt. I do want to see more of Bullseye. I'm not a fan of the Matthew Lillard's character as of yet, and the way
we haven't really seen too much of him either.
That's why I said as of yet. I don't like that. So, like, again, it could work. Okay. I'm just saying, like, right now.
I'm gonna jump to the second episode. I'm excited Angela's back, and then jumping to the third episode, but not talking about the third episode yet. She did some shit, and we didn't get to see it, and I love that.
Yeah,
because she's got the white tiger amulet back. But when her and her aunt are in the bodega, of course the liberal lady's like, "Oh, they're just kids," even though they're stealing alcohol, and the bodega owner has every right to stop them. She gets him arrested. She gets herself arrested. And you know who did not get arrested? The three kids who were robbing the store. It's like,
I found that hilarious.
It is like Tell me you are colorblind to the reality of life as a writer without telling me,
So
because yeah.
basically, you just said that the cop or whatever is going to let the criminal go because a woman put her hand on him. Didn't hit him.
No.
Just
Well,
what?
and they
Real?
knocked the bodega owner out because he had
Yeah.
a gun. It's like, you tell him to drop it. They didn't even do that. They just attacked him
It's
and then threw
again,
him in their version of the raft this season.
a lot of writers in Hollywood have a certain outlook on things that you can tell by their writing that they have no clue about the realities
Yeah.
of it. Not just this, but in just we've seen plenty of examples. There's like, you really think that? Again, if this was satire or whatever, dark comedy, whatever, okay, you can be a
Yeah.
little bit overboard. But when shows do this, and I'm going to pivot to what I mentioned about the pit, which I think is a very,
Well, hold
very
on.
good show.
Which you've mentioned to me about the pit offline, because we've never talked about the pit on
Yeah.
the show. But yeah,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
for
The
for
Pit
clarity.
is the show with Noah Wiley about this emergency room
Wait,
in
ER?
Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Oh, that was in
which
Chicago.
it's kind of funny, yeah. Like because there's a picture of him from ER when you get on HBO Max, and he looks like he's 12 years old. But anyway, The Pit is a well done show. It cuts out a lot of the drama because it takes place in one shift. So, but there's still drama. Don't get me wrong. They had an episode a couple weeks ago, I think, where ICE brings in a detainee. And the fact that they bring ICE in this whole thing, and then these nurses and people in the waiting room leave because they don't feel safe, it's like, of course you would do that. And, going back to Daredevil and this whole thing with the task force, which is their rendition of ICE, let's be honest, and not even just ICE, law enforcement, I should say, and how law enforcement behaves. Yeah, I like what you mentioned about the woman saying they're just kids. They're just kids who are stealing, and if you don't nip that in the bud, they become kids who start beating up people to steal stuff.
Yeah,
And
they're
then you
just
don't nip
criminals.
that. Yeah, nip that in the bud. People get iced out,
You've
and
been
not
hit
in the
by,
sense.
you've been struck
Yeah.
by a kid criminal. Bum, bum, bada, bum, bum.
So it's
Sorry.
it again, stuff like that can take me out of
Yeah.
what's going on,
Right.
because it all, and again, this is the thing, you only see one point of view. Hollywood has no clue how to write someone that's left of center, a point of view in general.
No,
They
you mean the
don't.
other way.
Yeah, the right of center.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's. I mean, you can go back to it's almost always the Democratic. Like, I mean, you go back to The West Wing, which, I mean, I think that was a very well done show, but it's always that side of the aisle's politics, which, one, that is Hollywood, but two, it also shows how people can't write. People have problems writing things that don't align with their beliefs, and it's just gotten worse in the last 10 years in Hollywood. And unfortunately, what I see in Daredevil, it's not just that. It's not just that myopic view, or when you're writing a certain, it's just there is a lack of detail, a lack of thought of what they're doing with characters, not just situations, not just the task force. I don't like that plot line, fine, whatever. But it can still be a good show if you make the characters themselves interesting. Yes, I know that plot line would take me out even if the characters were interesting to some extent. But if I liked Karen like I did in the Netflix series, if I like Vanessa like I did in the Netflix series, if whatever Matt's ex, the psychologist, was a better written character, there would stuff like that. I honestly, I'm kind of over Kit Gandolfini too.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Oh, really? I like Daniel Blake still. Like, I like how he knows BB is the one, and he warned her.
Yeah.
But like,
I did
he's
like
also
that back and forth.
he's also going to let her die.
Yeah.
So
I will say I did like that little interaction between them
Yeah.
where he's like, if you're doing it, stop.
Yeah.
Because it could get you hurt. It can get me hurt.
Yep. I did like him too in the third episode with the meatball hoagie. When they're like going to the thing, he's like, "You gotta eat before you go to these things because if you go, what if the
I
food's bad? Or
mean,
you gotta talk to somebody, and it's just disgusting."
I mean, it was sound advice,
Sound
sound
advice.
logic.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So the third episode, I will say I liked the end of this episode more than I liked anything else so far this season. And I really mainly liked it when they did the breakout, the heist, because I'm a sucker for heists. But I like when Daredevil like broke off the bar cage, like the bar from the cage, and like threw it to him, and he was like, "Ah, yes, a sword."
Yeah. Yeah, the heist, because it works like a heist when, what is her name? His former law partner.
Kristen McDuffie.
Yeah, when she's walking him through, she was like, I didn't see anything. He was like, I can work with that.
Yeah, just tell me what you heard and smelled, and it felt like I did like her in the court scene too. With when she's like, "Look, I didn't get anything. We sent you an email, yeah, to an account that is dead, like which is something lawyers do, by the way, which is bullshit."
Oh, absolutely, it is. And again, I actually don't mind her character.
No,
She's one of the characters I actually don't mind.
Yeah.
She hasn't been used much, obviously, up until this episode. I mean, there's only 3 episodes, but in this season. But yeah, I'm her character. She's one of the characters that I'm absolutely fine with. Yes, she's not foggy, but still, I think they did a solid job, and the actress does a good job with that character.
Yeah, I agree. I like her. I like how she doesn't know what's happening with Matt too, which but she does know what's happening with Matt. That's like the best part about it. But yeah, I just thought and where did Karen get that truck?
Was
it in the yard? Did they steal it
big
from
one?
that Duquesne drove off in at the end?
Oh yeah, that was the one that actually Angela was the one that had the idea, because she had the key. She was like, "Hey, I got an idea."
Okay, I missed that.
So that was her. Yeah,
yeah.
Like
Okay.
it was.
Oh, I
quick,
thought she had the idea that she gave them the guns. Okay.
Yeah, that was after that. Yeah,
Okay.
but she said she had it. So, and that's when they got that. Yeah, it happens really quick. But going back to her, I like that. I like her.
Yeah, I do too.
like what we've seen about her,
Yep.
and they haven't overloaded us with her as you've seen in other examples of
but
shows.
there are far too many characters in this show too.
Yeah, there are way too many
also, hiding at Josie's bar in the first episode, it's all of a sudden like the Underground Railroad for vigilantes now.
Like, what's going on there? Yeah.
Well, and it's like Sunnydale. Like, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Now it has a whole hidden riverside view of the Hudson.
It's like Sunnydale just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So obviously this is more than one episode. We're not rating them. We're just all of the individuals. So Darryl, out of 10, did I miss something or did something happen? What do you give this?
5.1 out of 10. There's nothing I love about this show. There's some things I like, and there's more things I dislike. But I didn't mention it. I would take the back. There's one thing I absolutely love about this show, and that's his suit. Oh my goodness, that looks so good.
So I gave it a 5.81, and it definitely got a boost because of 1, Charlie Cox, and 2, the suit.
That suit is slick.
It's sick. Like, I'm pretty sure when I fix my 3D printer, I can print that in black.
The whole suit.
No, well, you know what? I bet I could print it in pieces and like glue it to like a vest or something.
Yeah, I absolutely love that suit. Love it.
Yep.
But yeah, 5.1 out of 10. Yeah. It's just like they need to start checking off characters.
Yeah.
Just sending them to the great beyond, because there are way too many and the structure of the story and the pacing feels off to me. It's again the sanitization. It looks too clean.
Yeah.
especially we're talking about New York.
Mm-hmm. It smells like
Like,
piss and sour milk. And it
yeah.
looks that way too. All right. Enough about Daredevil. Are you ready for the week's question?
Oh, what did you give it?
No,
5.81.
I gave it a 5.81. I already said that.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you ready for this week's question?
Okay.
Who or where would you haunt if you were a ghost?
Who or where I would haunt?
And why is it not Connor Stallion?
I'd haunt Ryan Day and then just every time he's about to close his eyes, I'd just be like, "Go blue," or whisper the scores: 30-24,
4-1,
45-27, 42-26, 40. I would just do that. 13-10.
Nice.
Every time he closes his eyes.
Nice. I would haunt Ryan Johnson.
Oh, I know you would.
I'd like be poltergeist and like throw stuff at him as he's trying to fall asleep, like drop a beanbag on him or spill some water onto his bed, like just like never let him like get to sleep, like really easy. And then I'd be like, Raylos are weird.
Solo lost money.
Yeah. So, well, that's not his fault.
Well, that's not.
Anyway. Fair is fair. Like that is Ron Howard's fault, but like it was not Ruin Johnson's fault that Solo lost money. Anyway, all right. Well, on that note, thank you all for listening. We will be back next week. Darryl, you got any last words?
No, but I got 2 words for you.
Be infamous.
Be infamous.
Hey, you stole my line. We'll talk to you later. Bye. The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Darryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/infamouspodcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.